Gentlemen, our police department is supposed to be the people who defend us. Our police is supposed to be the people who protect us from crimes. They're the people who are supposed to go out there and risk their own lives for the safety of our community. But that is not what's happening in our current status quo. That is not what our police symbolizes in our environment right now, ladies and gentlemen. We believe, as the opposition team, that the police department has lost their place as our law upholders, as peacekeepers, as our protectors, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that right now, in our current status quo, they are doing violent things unnecessarily to innocent people and harming peaceful protesters. There is a thing that we can agree with the government team, that right now our current status quo is less than ideal. But the difference is, while they say that we should have institutional change, we believe that defunding the police is the only way that we can win and change this status quo, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I would like to clarify more about defunding, right? The first speaker have already stated about defunding, but I would also like to give what defunding is. Now, defunding, what we mean by this is that we're going to take away the assets of our police, such as, for example, the military equipment that the government of the USA has given towards them, and inhumane weapons or artillery, or what we think is something that is too violent or it's too overpowerful for our police department. We will also take a certain level of immunity that they have. Currently, in the USA Police Department, police officers get a certain immunity from the law. Now, what will we use this money for? We're not saying that we're just going to take money from them. We're going to take that money, and then that money we will put back into the system. We will use that money for other things. What are those other things, for example? We can make a change for the way that we treat our police, from the way that we recruit our police. We will make sure that we give funding towards the people who choose who becomes our police, so that our police can become better citizens. Now, we believe also, why is the funding justified? Because this violent uprising of our police department and why they lost the meaning is because power corrupts, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that the base mistake or the base problem that we have today comes from the power that they hold. Power corrupts. We believe that police departments have too much power. What do we mean by this power? We're talking about military equipments, and there's too many police officers, which, by the way, is not being properly chosen. Those police officers in the USA, it takes a few months to go from being a basically high schooler and then to high school diploma to becoming a police officers. And of course, about the immunity towards the law, the certain immunity that our police officers have. Now, before going to my arguments, I would like to give several rebuttals towards the previous speaker. Now, he says that America is very unstable. Right now, there's radical things that are going on. Yes, we absolutely agree that right now, Black Lives Matter, for example, that there are things that are going on in America that threatens the safety of our people and that threatens the status quo that we have. That is why we believe that defunding is a better thing to do than institutional change. Because we believe that in radical situations, in desperate situations, we have to make big changes. And we believe that defunding the police is the big change that we need. He says that, well, defunding is a radical change and that could give towards more pushback and troubles. We're not going to deny that, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe. Some people will be mad. But against all the people who have died in the hands of our police, against how our symbolism of our police have been dirtied and solid, is it worth it, first of all? And second of all, even if that is the consequence, we need to make major changes, ladies and gentlemen. Those people rioting, Black Lives Matter, and those demonstrations that keep getting more and more violent from both sides, they're not going to stop until we make something that changes the status quo in a big way. And we believe defunding is that. Second of all, he says that defunding will deter and weaken the power of the police. That's exactly what we want, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly what we want. We want our police to not be all-powerful or absolutely powerful. We want them to use their power wisely. And as far as we are concerned, they are not doing that. Example, ladies and gentlemen, using military equipment, using rubber bullets, using tonfas against peaceful protesters, people who are just protesting and minding their own business, wanting to tell about their experience, what they think about political things. Do they deserve that? Because we believe that they don't. He also states that we need the police for safety and security. And if we do not give the police power, then they will lose towards high crime rates. Is it really, ladies and gentlemen? Is that the state of us right now? Because right now we believe in our team that the people are scared out of hell towards our police. They're scared to call 911. They're scared to call people who are supposed to protect them, ladies and gentlemen. Now, defunding, he also says that will lead towards less capable police, for example, overworked police, and complaints of no police assistance. Again, it's the same thing. You see the irony of this, ladies and gentlemen? He says that, well, complaints, there will be complaints towards no police assistance. Even though one of the topics that we're talking about, racism, involving George Floyd died because the police was called on him by a 911 call. Imagine the irony of that, ladies and gentlemen. So we can see how corrupt our police system is right now. That the police system has too much power and they're abusing that power. And we believe defunding is the only way to solve all the things that are going on right now. Moving on to my arguments. Why do we believe that defunding is better than the first speaker's solution? Again, it may be drastic, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, we're in a drastic situation that is very hard to solve. And in drastic circumstances, we need to take drastic actions. Now, not only that, we might also add that like the power corrupt police system is not a new thing. It's been a very bad thing that has been lying underneath our beds for a very long time. For example, racist police putting in false evidence towards victims and arresting unnecessarily. These are things that have been going on for years. Not only this year, but for years, ladies and gentlemen. So, that's the first question, right? Is institutional change is going to change that? Will that change it rapidly enough? Will that satisfy the Black Lives Matter movement demonstrators? Will that change our police to the better? Now, are we saying that we're against reforms? No, we're not saying that, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that we can maybe change the police for the better. Institutionally, we can change it with our laws and we can prohibit the power of the police. But again, we need drastic measures and we need that measures now. So we believe that defunding is still our best option. If we want our people to feel safe, to keep order and peace, and for them to once again trust the police, we believe that we need to defund the police. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.